Hi folks, I'm Cam Drury, co-founder and CEO of Canwi. Welcome to video 2 in our Get Started series. This video is going to be focused on Canwi app. So we're starting here on the home screen of the app. We'll just go through the navigation elements on the left first. So we're currently on home. Also have initial positions. That's basically when you started building a plan, where were you? Your plan, so what are you planning to do in the future? And then tracking. So after you built a plan, you can track your progress versus that plan. As I mouse over all of these, you'll notice that the content on the right is changing. There's a couple of different pages in each of those that we'll go through. Moving over to the top right, we've got our scenario selector, so you can create multiple scenarios in Canwi and then compare those. Just quickly jump over to the screen for that. So if I've got multiple scenarios, I can just compare those and see how they play out over time. Then we have the today's dollars and future dollars or actual dollars selector. So this basically allows you to select, just jump back to the homepage. This allows you to select whether or not you want to see your plan figures in today's dollars, basically what is their current buying power, adjusted for inflation. So for example, if you think about like $1 million in 10 years time, what would that actually buy you in goods today? Or you can view actual dollars. So you could just view the projected figure, which is what the actual currency dollar amount or the actual dollar amount would be, irrespective of inflation, or what you can actually buy with it. You can also adjust the inflation rate in scenario settings by clicking here, and that'll bring up the scenario settings sheet. You can share a copy of your plan. So if you click this, you can generate a permalink and you can share that with a friend, an advisor, or on social media for feedback. And then you've got onboarding tasks that show you where you're at in terms of onboarding. Bottom right hand, we've got the chat bubble, so you can click on this and chat to us at any point in time. We aim to respond very quickly to users' questions. We really want to help you guys succeed. Bottom left, we've got our user profile. I've got my theme selector here, so I can change between light mode and dark mode if that's more your speed. We've got your subscription, so you can change whether or not you're on our starter plan or if you would like to opt into Canwi Plus. Cool, so I'm just going to race through a couple of things here on the home screen. Don't worry, you can pause this or slow down the video speed as well. So top left, we've got our current net worth. That's based on our tracking progress, and then we can see how that's changed over time between different progress points or times that I've updated my net worth. Then we've got our projected net worth. This is basically showing our projection over the course of the plan. Some high-level snapshots. There's a tooltip here that explains how this works, and then a link off to our help center that will explain in more detail. You can also toggle these off. So for instance, I could say I don't want to view my home as part of my projected net worth because it's my home. I don't really consider it an asset. Then we've got our goals. So I've got a goal of retiring early, upsizing my house, etc., being debt-free. And as a result, the graphs underneath are going to be tailored to your goals. So because I want to retire early, it's important that I understand my liquidity or my liquid assets, what I can actually access at any point in time. So this gives me a view of that. And then I'm also interested in my debt-free age. So in this particular plan, it looks like it'll be when we're 88 years old. We've got quite a lot of debt in this plan. We've also got a point out here that we are using some strategies to accelerate our debt-free timeline. And then we've got our retirement cash flow as well. Moving over to the left, we've got a breakdown of our assets. So, our superannuation, property, etc. Comparison of our superannuation versus the average. We've got support for our plan, so you can book a plan inputs review if you're on Canwi Plus. Really good idea to do this. Just helps us check that you've put in all the data correctly. We'll help you identify some things that you might have missed. If you haven't been set up previously, then there'll also be a support for your plan option, which is to book a 15-minute introduction session. We're happy to help you sort of get set up and understand how everything works. If you're looking to buy property as well, we'll also recommend you speak to a mortgage broker. Getting the right loan structure makes a huge difference in terms of your plan, as well as the ability to make future decisions, like if you want to do a renovation or something, then super useful for that. Cool, I'll jump now over to the initial position page. And again, don't stress, I'm going to race through it, but you can always pause it or slow the video down. So my initial position here starts in January 2026. We can adjust this in scenario settings. So again, scenario settings, you can click here and bring it up here, or there's a dedicated page for it under the plan as well. But your initial position here, the overview page is giving you a comprehensive view of your family, your employment income, your living expenses, cash accounts, assets, debts, and liabilities. We also have dedicated pages, which will give you more of more graphs and things so that you can see kind of how everything is coming together. So there's one of those for income and expenses and also one for assets and debts. Then we come to the plan page. So the default view here will be the plan builder. Really easy to build a plan. You basically just click the add new event button. Just move myself out of the way. We have a whole range of different events here. So we've got family, work, lifestyle, vehicles, investing, super, etc. If you would like to plan for something, so perhaps you're wondering, what if I buy a car? What does that do to my plan? Just drag it on and configure it. You can select different options. So, I want to spend $35,000 with a car loan, etc. Hit add, and you'll see the impact that that's having on your milestones. Milestones, totally configurable. You can adjust this, but basically it allows you to see at the top of your plan, at a glance, how different decisions are moving you closer or further from your goals. Really, really important to set those up. I think they make it so helpful to understand if decisions you're making are really help you towards your goals or not. And then at the bottom here, we've currently got a graph of our cash flow over time. We can zoom that in, for instance, if I'm interested in seeing in a bit more detail what's going on in any given year, we can do that. We can also flexibly change between the visualization we're looking at. So we can look at net cash flow, we can look at wealth over time, we can look at a bar chart if that's what we're interested in. Super flexible. If you want to go into more detail as well, you can just click on any given year to bring up the yearly financial breakdown. That'll give you a view of your cash flow, what's going on within the year, how all of your finances are flowing. You can look at your income, your tax, all the different tax calculations are here. We'll give you a stack of visibility into this. Canwi is not a black box model. There is a lot of number crunching going on, but we expose basically all the elements of our financial model for you so that you know that things are correct and can see how things are being calculated. So stacks of detail there. You can also see your superannuations. You can see your rolling 5-year concessional contributions. You can see your expenses, a bunch of different things in here. Cool. Then we have the overview page. So the overview page, just another way of interacting with your plan, puts your entire plan on a page. You can use the brush here at the bottom to adjust the view that you want to look at. We'll do that. We can move it around as well. We can toggle different things on and off. So I can toggle off, stocks and home, for example. You can switch to different views like net wealth, cash flow, savings, and income breakdown. For the income breakdown, we can see whether or not it's taxed or untaxed income, or active and passive income. And all flexible, so we can drag things around between years here, and all of that will update the modeling as well. And then the final view we have here is our plan detail table. So this is basically the Excel view. It'll give you a fairly granular, itemized view of your income, your tax, expenses, etc. When this is collapsed, you'll just be seeing basically the tax refund amount that we're projecting for you based on how things play out within the year. You can also launch the yearly financial breakdown from here as well. We can look at a balance sheet view so we can see how all of our assets and debts are playing out over time. We can set cash flow priorities. So just as an example, by default, your plan will assume that either your excess cash is all saved into a cash account, or is all spent. It's up to you. You can pick either of those. But you can also set more complex allocations. You could say, I want to allocate $5,000 each year or up to that if there's excess cash into stocks. And then I want to put 70% into my CBA offset until it's fully offset. Lots of different things you could do here. I think this is mega powerful for understanding how different financial behaviors that you do with your excess cash impact your long-term trajectory. So really powerful to have a look and go, well, at the moment I'm saving and investing with this, but what if I actually change this and instead was spending the rest? And I'll just delete these as well. That's having a huge impact on my plan. So just changing those money behaviors has murdered my plan. If I change it back to save the rest, you'll see that has some positive impact. So huge impact from cash flow priorities. Then scenario settings. So you can name your scenario here. You can add notes about it. You can change the start month and start year of your plan, and adjust the inflation rate and wage growth rate. You can toggle off parts of the model if something is not relevant to you. So as an example, I've got family tax benefit in this plan. Maybe for some reason I'm not eligible for that. As an example, like perhaps I might be a foreign citizen or something, or I just might want to know what my plan looks like if I don't claim that. You can turn it off, hit save, and that'll update your plan. Lastly, we have track. So Once you've built a plan, you can also track your progress against that plan, and we'll tell you whether or not how you're comparing versus what we projected. So at any given time, are we above what we projected? Are we below what we projected? We recommend tracking most every month, but every 3 months or every quarter is totally fine as well. The idea here is really just to get a sense of if you build a plan, you're really happy with that plan and it's getting you towards your goals. As you're tracking over time, that's a long-term plan. And so you really just need to be able to go, are we on track, off track? If we're off track, do we need to make some changes? So yeah, hopefully that helps you get oriented in the app. Any questions, feel free to hit us up on chat or on Discord. And thanks for watching.